Hey all, I'm here to share some Bolivia trivia with you while I make a traditional Bolivian baked good, Rollo de Queso, which translates to cheese roll. It's a crumbly dough stuffed with spiced cheese. Anyway, now for the trivia. Can you Bolivia that? Number 1. Bolivia is one of 2 landlocked countries in South America and is also the second poorest country on the continent. The poverty actually has a lot to do with the country having been very resistant to Western globalization and capitalism throughout its history. Number 2. At 11,975 feet above sea level, La Paz is the highest capital in the world. That elevation is for the lower parts of the city and is where my family currently resides. But we used to live in El Alto, the upper part of the city, which sits at just over 13,600 feet above sea level. El Alto is actually considered the highest large city in the world. Number 3. Bolivia has 2 capitals, La Paz, where the actual government buildings are, and Sucre, the official capital. Number 4. The country also has 37 official languages, 36 recognized indigenous languages, such as Quechua, Aymara, and Guarani, and Spanish. My family comes from an indigenous ancestry that speaks Aymara. Number 5. Bolivia is actually the only country in the world with a majority indigenous population. Over 60% of its population is made up of indigenous peoples. Number 6. Northeast of La Paz is El Camino de las Yungas, which is sometimes referred to as El Camino de la Muerte, or Death Road, because it is known as the world's most dangerous road. There are an estimated 200 to 300 fatalities every year. I actually went on it when I was 11 and had a great time. Number 7. El Lago Titicaca, which straddles the border between Peru and Bolivia, is the world's highest navigable lake. It sits 12,507 feet above sea level and is also South America's largest lake by volume. I've also been here, and the fresh fish is some of the best I've ever had. It's also incredibly cold. Number 8. El Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt flat. In the very brief rainy season, the entire flats are covered with just a few centimeters of water all the way across, and the flats become a giant mirror reflecting the sky. I haven't been yet, but I hope to go someday soon. Number 9. In La Paz, there is a program where people volunteer to help children cross the road safely and educate drivers and pedestrians about road safety by dressing up as zebras and acting as crossing guards. The zebra costumes are derived from the white lines marked on roads for pedestrian crossings. Number 10. Bolivia is one of only 9 countries in the world that does not have McDonald's. In 1997, they tried to start the franchise in Bolivia, but by 2002, all of its locations shut down because there was very strong pushback from the Bolivian population against corporate globalization. And fast food chains like McDonald's were antithetical to the importance of food as a big part of Bolivian culture, which has many staple dishes that require plenty of time, attention, and care to prepare correctly. On top of that, McDonald's meals were more expensive than their fresher, tastier street food counterparts. So all in all, it was a failed venture for Mickey D's. And finally, some fun facts about my Bolivian family. My love of baked goods comes from my grandparents. They met when they were working at a cookie factory in La Paz. They eventually decided that they wanted to open their own bakery, so they bought an industrial oven and started selling out of their own house, eventually constructing the bakery itself in the front part of their home. Between the 2 of them, I'm not sure if there was anything they couldn't make. My mom learned from them by watching and doing and working in the bakery, along with her sisters, and she eventually passed that knowledge on to me and my sister. This Rollo de Queso is actually her recipe that she gave me with guesstimated measurements and approximate instructions. She basically said, "You'll know how much to put in and how long to cook it for, don't worry." And this Rollo de Queso is a product of that generational knowledge. Hope y'all enjoyed it.